Welcome to the Leader's Edge, where we celebrate leadership and shine a light on the visionary leaders shaping our future. Hi, I'm HR Huntsman. I'm the founder of Leader's Edge, the creator of the Leader's Edge Performance Engine and Leader's Edge University. I am thrilled to bring you stories from leaders who are making a difference around the world. In each episode, we're going to champion the innovative strategies, the courageous decisions, and inspiring journeys of those who lead with purpose and passion. So whether you're looking to refine your own leadership skills or you simply want to be inspired, you, my friend, are in the right place. In this episode, you're going to meet Gordon Williamson. Gordon founded Kai International in 2008. My interview with Gordon took place in the BMO Center in Calgary, and it turns out he helped drill the deep pilings for this massive building. I can't wait for you to hear how he began Kai International. It's an inspiring story of entrepreneurial courage. Let's jump into my conversation with Gordon Williamson. Gordon, thank you so much for joining me. We're at the BuildX conference in Alberta. I met you upstairs at a leadership breakfast. I'm honored that you would join me for this podcast.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell me a little bit about yourself for the viewers, the listeners. How'd you get into construction? You have a fascinating history. Share a little bit about that if you would.
I've basically been in construction since I was about 4 years old.
Wow.
My father was an electrician, and my grandfather was a steam fitter. So in the basement of the house, we had a workshop full of old parts, electrical and plumbing, and I was fascinated with that stuff forever.
Okay.
I became an electrician. I've had a few careers over my life. I've built several buildings from scratch as an electrician in the city of Calgary. For a number of years, 13 I believe, I was in the entertainment industry where I did lighting and technical work for professional theater, movies, commercials, rock shows, all that stuff.
Okay.
After that, it became too much of a burden on my family working day and night all the time. So I got back into construction, built several infrastructure projects, schools, high-rises for electrical contractors in Alberta. It came to a point where I was building an infrastructure project that required a lot of sign structures, high mast lighting foundations, traffic signal foundations, and I couldn't find a piling contractor in this province to come do the work for us because it was booming. It was just unbelievable. I would schedule one company to come in from Lethbridge, he'd drill 6 holes, leave. Somebody from Red Deer would come in, drill another 6. Somebody from Calgary would drill a few. And as a result of that, it took about an extra year to complete the project.
Gotcha.
So at the end of the project, I had the idea of buying a drill rig. I bought a unique drill rig called a low drill, and it showed up in May 21st, 2007, did my first job. It showed up to the job site, did its first job, and since then, we haven't looked back. We've drilled with that rig everywhere in Alberta.
Is that right?
And because of its unique characteristics, it was in high demand. And with that, the company soon grew to get attracted a lot more employees and, of course, a lot more equipment. We have 11 rigs right now, 35 employees. Yeah. And we work in all industries in foundation work.
Very good. So for our listeners and viewers, you may hear some other noise. We're actually in the middle of a trade show at BuildX, and so there's a setting going on next to us. Lots of energy around us. It's where I met Gordon. 3rd generation. So here's the question I'd like to ask you. What'd you learn from your grandfather that he's passed down, and what'd you learn from your father that he's passed down that you're passing on to the next generations?
My grandfather taught me perseverance.
Okay.
At a very young age.
Good.
I remember he was a farmer. I remember we had to go out and retrieve some culvert out of a willow patch, and it took us 2 days to get that culvert out of the patch. It was heavy. We didn't have a lot of equipment, and we just did it manually. And when we finally got it out, he looked at me and said, "That's perseverance." I never forgot that lesson. I was maybe 10 years old at the time.
Okay.
My father, he taught me to be patient and to be accurate and to do the right thing.
Very good.
Don't cheat, don't lie, And when you're building something, build it and give the customer what they ask for.
I like it. So let's talk about your grandfather's lesson of perseverance. You've been in the game for a long time. When has that lesson of perseverance really had to come to bear? Like economic recessions up and down, COVID. When did you say, Grandpa, thank you so much for teaching me perseverance?
Practically on a daily basis, because in new construction, doing deep foundations, every time you open up a new pile shaft, you never know what you're going to encounter. In ground conditions, you never know what the weather's going to throw at you. You never know what machinery is going to fail. And then we always have external forces like concrete supply, and then extremely tough specifications. We've done a lot of bridges for Alberta Transportation, and we're working on the Deerfoot right now for Alberta Transportation, doing some foundation piles. And the specs are really tough. The lesson I have is I teach my employees, okay, we're not cheating, we're not cutting corners, we're going to go right to the letter of the law and do it. If we can't do it, we stop, we reassess, we redesign, we re-engineer, whatever it takes to get the best possible product we can offer. And that builds our reputation.
So we happen to be, for this trade show, we happen to be in the BMO Center. When you and I were having breakfast, you looked over and you said, we built this. You're pretty proud of this building. Tell me about it.
The BMO was built during COVID. We did all the deep foundations, and this was a unique construction project in the fact that there is so much wide open space in the building that some of the columns are so big, they're on massive foundation piles. And again, the specifications that the engineers placed were the tolerance were with inches at the bottom of a 60-foot deep pile.
Wow.
We had to account for inches or millimeters of tolerance. And we did our absolute best, and there was no actual pile failures. There was some remediation we had to do, and we did it. But in general, it happened. The building came in under budget and on schedule.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we're quite proud. We had a lot of challenges with weather, COVID. Concrete supply during COVID was really challenging.
Yeah. And this just opened in June.
That's right.
You're pretty proud of it. Now, you and I were talking off camera. You and I both know you can't build beautiful buildings like this without building a team. Let's talk about how you build your team.
My team, for the most part, have come to me either through direct references from people I know or people that I've employed, and from reputation, where people that have hired me to do work, see they like the way I operate, they come over, they come looking for jobs. And these people tend to stay with me. I can't say for how long, because none of them have left. None of my key team members have ever left me. I've had some people on part-time contracts, which come and go, which is understood. But my key core team, the people are in it for the long haul.
Okay, let me ask about this. So the name of his company is Kai International. So someone's on your team talking about Kai International, talking about Gordon Williamson. They would say, come to work at Kai because we're like, what are they actually saying about you and the company?
We keep people employed in between projects. In Alberta, it's my right as a contractor to lay people off because the project's done. I don't need you anymore until the next project starts. I don't do that. I keep everybody employed until the next project starts. So I have a team, I have their skill set, and I get their respect by not laying them off, creating hardships for them.
That's unique in the construction industry.
Yes, it's not easy to do.
For sure.
It's been a strain sometimes on the company, but
overhead is high then.
On the other hand, it pays off dividends like crazy because I have a good, strong workforce.
And you don't have turnover.
A lot of my turnover, we're always hiring new people, and some of them just aren't fit for the industry. They come and go. And there's always going to be a few of those people around. But people that want to work, they want to learn, they want to grow. A lot of them get a position in the company. They're quite happy to stay there. They do a good job. They get respect. Another thing I don't blame or try to put people down. I'm not a yeller and screamer.
Okay.
People make a mistake and they come up to me and they say, listen, I just made a horrific mistake. It's going to cost money. We got to resolve it. I say, okay, let's take a step back. Let's work through the problem. Let's work the problem, fix the problem, ensure that nobody is going to get scared to show up for work because they did something wrong. I want them to be able to come to me or to my senior staff and say, okay, we got a problem. How do we fix it?
Good for
you.
I
screwed up. How do we fix it? Or this happened. It wasn't my fault, but I was there.
Yeah.
How do we fix it?
What would you describe? So in Leader's Edge, we call it our avatar of the ideal team player. We call it a talent profile. Paint me a picture of the kind of person you're looking for that would make Kai International their home. Give me some key characteristics of top performing employee.
Most of my top performing employees are quite humble. They don't claim to be the world's best at anything, but they do their best at work every day.
Okay.
They learn, they grow. They have, say, 10 years of experience accumulated as opposed to 10 years experience 1 year over and over.
Right.
So they grow, they learn.
Yeah.
And they come back to me with that. Sometimes I'll make a statement or I'll have an idea, we should do this. I come after a holiday and I say, okay, we're going to rejig everything because I'm so energized. And they look at me and say, okay, good. Let's just take a step back here.
Slow down, boss.
Slow down. This is what we really want to do.
Yeah. What keeps you? You've been in the game a long time. You come across as a humble dude. How have you sustained leadership excellence? I'm not talking construction. How have you sustained excellence as a leader over decades?
Patience.
Which your dad taught you?
Which my father taught me and my grandfather.
Yeah.
I look at what some of my family has gone through to get to this point and to get me to this point.
Okay.
Fighting in World War I, for example, immigrating from Ireland or from Scotland 130 years ago.
Is that right? Okay.
Getting off the train, coming from Ireland and showing up in Bazano, Alberta, which is complete brown country in April, and there's no green at all.
Is that right?
Having the fortitude to stay and build a family and build a legacy.
Uh-huh.
And I just look back at some of the hardships and the stories I've been told. I look at it, I'm sitting in a comfortable house. I've got a safe vehicle to drive. I've got employees that are dedicated to me. And I just say I can get through just about any problem. And I have so far.
Good for
in
you.
17 years, I can tell you there has been a lot of very serious challenges in deep foundations in
no doubt.
the province of Alberta.
What have you seen as the change? Like, we work with leaders all across the states, many different industries, and they talk about Gen Y this and Gen Z and millennials, and no one wants to work anymore. And I see it differently. I want to know how you see it, and how has leadership had to change with the younger generations? How has Kai International have to change with the younger generations?
The leadership, I know the electronic age is upon us here. I grew up remembering the family's first television, a black and white. We had 2 channels in Calgary.
Yeah.
And now I can do more stuff on my phone than you can possibly imagine
For
as a
sure.
kid. So I rely on the younger generation to keep me there.
Okay.
And believe that there's a lot of young people in the world, in my life, that are ready to work physically hard. They are ready to go. They're that personality. These are the kind of people, when they're teenagers, they had an old car that didn't work hardly at all, and they fixed it and kept on going. Maybe it wasn't 100% safe, but they made it through.
Yeah.
They have that work attitude, that work ethic to make things happen. Some people I've had work for me for short periods of time that are just, they don't want to be a physical worker. They want to be in the cyber world or doing computers or gaming or whatever it is. They can go have that world because it's not going away. With AI,
That's right.
Electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, you name it. We need those people to build that infrastructure as well.
Off camera, you mentioned something that just piqued my interest because we are all about leadership development. You mentioned your mentorship program. Tell me about that.
When we have a new employee, we always put them in a team environment, and the team is made very aware that this person is new to our industry, new to construction, or just new to this type of equipment. Maybe they've been doing other construction for a long time, but they've not been working around our type of equipment and our dangers.
Yeah.
So the team keeps them safe.
Okay.
Which is a huge thing in our industry. Our safety programs, we have a lot of safety personnel to keep people safe and aware and keep training.
How long have you had the mentorship program? Who designed it? What are the key components of it?
Really, it started informally.
Yeah.
One of my senior employees now, when he started working for me, we had a program called Word of the Day.
Okay.
So every day he would learn a new word in English related to the industry. And then it grew more to things in life, stuff in the community. So every day we had a Word of the Day program. So that's really where it started. And now, even now, I have people that have English is a second language.
Okay.
And their English is minimal, but I put them with people that have their same language.
Good for you.
They just in order to teach them and keep them safe. So if it's somebody that doesn't have a language issue, but they're just new around equipment, heavy equipment, we got to keep that person safe. So we have somebody that literally pulls them back and say, okay, I told you not to go there. I'm going to remind you not to go there. So just keeping everybody looking out for themselves.
I would love more of the CEOs in construction that I work with to hear this message, not just the safety message, but the mentoring message, because we preach everywhere we go. You hire for culture and you train for skill. And it sounds like you have developed a really good training program for the new people on your team.
Yeah, we try.
Very good. Talk to me about, as we wind down, talk to me about your energy. All the high-performing leaders that I know, they have pretty good routines, how they take care of themselves. What do you do to try to stay at the top of your leadership game? How do you stay fresh? How do you stay energized? How do you stay curious?
Looking to the future. I always look to the future and think, what is my company, what can my team do to build this company?
Yeah.
And what's it going to look like for future generations for the work that we've done?
Very good.
For instance, my granddaughter will be coming to this building, I'm sure, in the span of her life. So I've built something that today's children or tomorrow's children can appreciate and can live and have a better life. And
it's a great outlook. Final question. Someone's coming out of college or they're finishing trade school and they want to start their own company. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to build something that matters. One piece of advice for a future business owner, business leader. What would you tell them, Gordon?
It's hard to keep it to one piece of advice.
Give us your best shot. What do you got? You have 3 generations of experience to pass on. Fire away.
Number one would be don't rush into it.
Okay.
Unless you really have the willingness to give up everything.
Okay.
Your time.
Yeah.
Your energy, your money, your dignity sometimes, because it can be really tough. There are days when, how am I going to make payroll? How am I going to make the fuel bill? How am I going to supply? And the economy is on the downturn. I got one little job. I got 12 guys. I got to keep them going. Just make sure you know what you get into and do a really solid long-term business plan, short-term business plan. It can be, it doesn't have to be super sophisticated. It can just be a point form, but you got to have some goals and you got to have support of your peers and your family.
Let's say someone wanted to get in contact with you. They're inspired by this conversation. They want to join your team, maybe as a team member, or they want to work with you in building a building. How can someone get a hold of you, Gordon?
They can go to our website, kiinternational.ca.
It's kiinternational.ca.
Ki International. It's spelled KI International.
kiinternational.ca.
Yeah. Piling and foundations and shoring.
Okay. Gordon, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your wisdom, what you're building. We're in a building that you've built. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I really appreciate how you're treating the next generations coming up after you. So thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.